the sun, having water at the front and a mountain at the back. After the palace was completed, Emperor Huizong looked to it as a place to pray for blessings for the kingdom.
宋朝始终感觉到北方少数民族的威胁，先是北方的辽，后来是西夏，都对这个宋朝的边境呢构成了这种军事上的威胁。那么宋朝作为农耕民族和游牧民族打仗，军事上尤其骑兵处于劣势，希望呢有一个神能保佑农耕社会的安宁。那么后来他们找到了就是北方之神，水神、战神，就是我们说的玄武神，后来改称为真武神。
In February of 1257, all the trees were without leaves and the ground was carpeted in thick snow. Zixiao Palace looked more solemn than ever. Mongolian troops had besieged the southern Song capital from 3 sides. At the end of his resources, Emperor Lizong pinned his last hopes on the god Zhenwu, to whom he presented a very long and prestigious title. Together with the title, he included a text in which the emperor pleaded desperately for help. Every word in the emperor's plea revealed the emperor's anxiety and fear. 3 years later, however, the emperor died in illness, and without royal patronage, the temples on Mount Wudang began to suffer. Some became deserted. In winter, Mount Wudang is very quiet, especially after a heavy fall of snow. Everything lies dormant, including the animal sculptures on the temple roof. The incense burners, busy for the whole year, enjoy a well-deserved period of solitude, as does Zixiao Palace itself, cloaked in snow. "800 years have erased many things. Today, except for this quiet yard, which the locals affectionately call the Eastern Palace, the magnificent Zixiao of the Song Dynasty is nowhere to be seen. The 2 multi-story buildings in the temple grounds, however, still display a few features of Song Dynasty palaces, and they retain the elegant appearance of a time long past." Rainfall can be very powerful, as it can wash away significant structures that have been passed down through history. But after a spring shower, this temple in honor of Xuanwu continues to tell a story about water. Moistened in the gentle rain, the temple is content with its serene surroundings before it once again dances with water, its eternal companion. Every time after it rains on the mountain, people make their way to Shangshan Pool to fetch some enchanted water. Behind the hall in honor of the founder of Taoism is Dragon King Well, said to be the dwelling place of the White Dragon. If you are a pious follower of Taoism, you can acquire enchanted water that can prolong your life. Behind the hall, there is also a pool named Tianyi, a name found in the ancient Chinese classical book I Ching, the Book of Changes. Even the title of this book speaks of the significance of water. Of all things, water is vital. No water, no life. Every year in the rainy season, the mountain comes back to life, and spring water gushes down the mountain to fill Tianyi, Shangshan and Richu pools. After passing Zixiao Palace, the water continues on to another pool before spreading out to bless the entire area. The many stories about Zixiao Palace are made possible because of water.
它有一个来历，就是说，相传呢，真武大帝过生日的时候，天上的织女就是为了给真武大帝祝寿，然后呢，他就绣出了天上难找、地上难寻的画卷。织女呢，把绣花棚子往赤板上一放，就变成。
都可以看得出来，蓝天在地上。
As they listen to these stories, tourists come to feel that perhaps the sacred water can bless them as well.
The tradition of worshipping water in China originated in primitive times. It was popularly believed that water from somewhere as holy as the Wudang Mountains could only be good for the health. It might also bring good fortune.
Heaven and man have long coexisted here in peace, creating a force that has filled Zixiao Palace. But where does its sacred water come from? And to where does it go from here? Workers from the local hydrometric station are seen busy year in and year out watching over the water quality of Taiji Lake at the foot of Mount Wudang. Few people know that this lake is the largest man-made freshwater lake in Asia. But when it was built in 1958, it was at a high cost. A Ming Dynasty Taoist temple named Jingle was submerged forever. It is said that Xuanwu was originally a god in heaven who decided to live in the human world in the form of the Empress of the state of Jingle. After 42 years on Mount Wudang, Xuanwu broke the barrier between mortality and immortality and ascended to heaven. To show their esteem, Taoists built a palace to memorialize the king and the queen of the state of Jingle. Today, Jingle Palace lies quietly under the water of the man-made lake, enjoying a unique form of solitude. The water that embraces the palace comes from a spring on Mount Wudang, or more precisely, from its highest peak, Heavenly Pillar.
武当山是一个非常有灵气的山，所以它在这个天柱峰，它的水就从天柱峰那么高处就有水，然后一直往下流。实际上，也在下面它还有水，不断会起大，会大，体现这么一个水往低处流的这样一个法自然的这样一个规则。
Soft as it is, water is the strongest of all forces, as eventually continuous drops of water will tunnel through rock. Water is also enchanted, as it has made Taihe Palace a place of mystery. This very old building stands alone on the summit of the mountain, shrouded in cloud all year round. According to Taoist beliefs, this place marks the dividing line between the mortal and the immortal, and so it is often visited by supernatural beings. Wind, cloud, rain and snow make this place a favorable stopover point for the gods. To followers of Taoism, man and all other forms of life are a part of nature. Taoists respect everything, mountains, vegetation and of course water, which is regarded as a special gift from nature and the very soul of Mount Wudang. It is water that has sustained the temples here, enabling them to fare well over a period of 1,000 years. On Mount Wudang, everything comes with water and everything accepts water as its lifelong companion. The 4 water systems begin at Heavenly Pillar and then flow down to Five Dragon Temple and Zixiao Palace, before losing themselves in the Danjiangkou Reservoir. However, Jingle Palace, the first temple on the route that connects the capital city of Beijing and Mount Wudang, has been sleeping soundly underwater for more than half a century.
Wudang 山供奉的水神玄武。 当时是北京的这个北方的玄武坐镇武当，天下风调雨顺。那么 历史非常巧合。那么600年后呢，武当山下的太极湖的水又要通过一个渠道运到北京去，说是北京武当有着天然的联系。600年前是北建故宫，南修武当；600年后是南水北调，润泽京津。
Is it a coincidence or simply another turn in the same cycle? In order to express his gratitude to the god Xuanwu, Emperor Changzu of the Ming Dynasty gathered 300,000 craftsmen to build numerous magnificent buildings on Mount Wudang, and the mountain began to look like it was part of another world. Today, with the south to north water diversion project, water, the ancient blessing from heaven, is making its way back to the capital city of Beijing. Even the name of a building on Mount Wudang suggests there is some kind of mysterious coincidence. The way its name is pronounced is very similar to that of the Forbidden City in Beijing. According to ancient Chinese belief, 600 years makes up 10 cycles in traditional chronology. Another cycle has just begun, and so has another story about this enchanted place, Mount Wudang.
In the Wudang Mountains, it is possible to witness a near-perfect combination of natural wonders and human ingenuity. Historical records suggest that in the 1,000-year period from the Tang to the Qing Dynasty, more than 500 temples were built in the Wudang Mountains. The structures were invariably grand, and as such, they represented the highest level of attainment in art and architecture. Thank you for joining us on today's New Frontiers, and tune in again for more about the Wudang Mountains. I'm Ji Xiaojun from CCTV International. Goodbye.